A lot of people grew up playing Minecraft on Xbox, especially the 360, and for the most part, things went smoothly. But every once in a while, some consoles would struggle to generate new worlds, especially when they ran out of storage. Sometimes this would lead to corrupted or unplayable saves. Most players would get an error, or the game would just refuse to load a new world until space was cleared. And for the longest time, that was the end of the story. A few Reddit posts, some blurry screenshots, and not much else. But for me and my friends, this was just the beginning. Fast forward to 2020, the world was on lockdown, and my friends and I had just gotten Xbox One S consoles. We spent the year playing Minecraft, mostly in Realms, but whenever we wanted to try something new, one friend was always the one to create the world. This went on for months, until the Mountain Dew incident. He ended up spilling a can of Mountain Dew straight into the Xbox, and unsurprisingly, the console would not turn on for over a week. But then, by some miracle, it came back to life. But this time, it was different. Very quickly after this, his Xbox ran critically low on storage. Now normally, Minecraft would refuse to create a new world, but this time, when he hit create new world, it gave a warning, and then made the world anyway. At first glance, everything would look normal, but then the bugs started. Village houses smashed into each other, mine shafts and dungeons were above ground, mountains floated in the sky, entire strongholds generated in the air. We thought maybe it was just a normal glitched bedrock seed, but then we regenerated the same seed on my Xbox, and it was totally normal. And every world my friend generated was more broken than the last. The weirdest part, these worlds would work for a while. You could play in them, but slowly they would begin to fall apart. Lag spikes, crashes, item duplication, place blocks disappearing or changing into the wrong block entirely, chunks loading wrong. Some worlds would reach a point where they would barely hold together. We were still exploring them, watching them collapse in real time. And then finally, the Xbox died. Turns out, pouring soda into your solid state drive and then forcing it to write past its capacity is a bad idea. In the end, his Xbox would go off to the repair shop, and when it came back, most of the broken worlds were gone. And the ones that did survive, they were fixed. No glitches, just ordinary Minecraft, with only remnants of what had happened. So what could have actually caused this? The spilled Mountain Dew may have damaged the SSD, corrupting specific memory sectors. Minecraft, still trying to write data with no space left, hit those corrupted parts. The game still generated the world, but the trained metadata and structured data would get scrambled. Because Minecraft saves chunks independently, broken ones stayed broken even after space was freed. It was the perfect storm, a dying SSD, no storage, and a game that tried to keep going anyway. So why haven't we heard more about this before? Most Xboxes will just block world generation when they're out of space. Most people haven't spilled soda into their SSDs. Most corrupted worlds get deleted when a console dies or is reset, and even when it does happen, nobody thinks to record it. There is no way to get those worlds back. Just memories of broken terrain, glitching landscapes, and the strange decay of something that was never supposed to exist. Makes you wonder, how many broken seeds like this are lost forever? How many of them were deleted quietly, without anyone ever knowing what they were? Minecraft's been around for over 15 years, and in that time, players have created billions of worlds. Most are gone, deleted, forgotten, but some never really died. They're still out there, buried in old saves, running silently in the background, or trapped on servers no one logs into anymore. A chunk still loads, a hopper still moves an item, a redstone torch still blinks every second, unseen. This is the Minecraft graveyard, a place where worlds still tick, but no one's left to watch them. Some servers die, and then they come back. You'll find an old IP from 2014, offline for years, a dead link, dead form, but one day it pings. You connect, the spawn loads, and it's exactly how it was. Signs untouched, chests still filled, the world didn't reset, it just started going again, quietly, alone. Sometimes it's a forgotten backup, booted accidentally. Sometimes someone restarts an old machine and doesn't realize what they've woken up. There are servers like this, archived since 2013, still listed on trackers, dead for a decade. And then they just flicker back on. No player activity, no announcement, just online again. Then there are the ones that never shut off, ghost servers. They've been running for years, almost 24/7. They rarely crash, and when they do, they reboot, but no one plays. You join, no welcome messages, no commands, just a quiet world slowly falling apart. Spawn is empty, shops half built, faction base untouched since 2016 with signs pointing towards planned expansions that never happened. Sometimes you find wheat farms still growing, minecarts looping, clocks ticking, chunks loaded. You walk for miles and nothing moves, except the server ticks. And if you stay long enough, you start wondering if anyone else ever logs in, or if it's just you and the system, waiting. Realms are basically ghost servers, but with subscriptions. Bought by parents, shared between classmates, or started for a project that never finished, and then forgotten. But the realm doesn't forget. It keeps running. Every tick, every mob, every block. There are Reddit threads, people logging into realms they forgot existed. Everything's still there. Unfinished builds, mob farms halfway done, signs with usernames no one remembers. Sometimes entire servers are frozen in the middle of a fight, with gear half broken, health half gone, like a game paused mid-battle, and just never unpaused. LAN worlds, the local multiplayer ones, can stay up too. Open one on a PC and leave it running. If the computer never shuts down, that world lives on. There are players who've left LAN worlds open for weeks. They go back in by accident months later. Everything's just how they left it, except older. Some worlds don't change, because they're not allowed to. Frozen servers, hardcore SMPs that reset daily, challenge maps that auto-restore, adventure hubs designed to be explored, not edited. You can join, you can walk around, you can even place a block, but the next restart, it's gone. Every day the world wakes up exactly the same, like nothing ever happened. You find old forums with download links, and setting up daily jobs to erase any traces of change. These aren't dead worlds, they're preserved. Snapshots of the past, replaying forever. Every so often you'll join a server, and you're not alone. Not really. Someone's online, but they don't say anything. They don't come to spawn, they don't log out. They just keep doing whatever they're doing. You might watch them back and forth for hours, mining, planting, moving in patterns that don't feel quite right. You try messaging them, nothing. They've been online for days, weeks maybe. It could be someone who forgot that they left it running, a player on the far side of the world, a glitch, or something else. You don't know, but the longer you watch, the less sure you are. Minecraft worlds don't always end. Some just stop being seen. They're simulations, ticking machines, and if no one turns them off, they keep going. Chunks still load, entities still tick, even if no one's watching. These are the forgotten corners. The server with no players, the realms left running, the code that outlived the people who made it. This is the Minecraft graveyard, and we're only just starting to dig. This is the Minecraft graveyard. Wow, I'm not doing good. Have you ever been playing Minecraft and something just feels off? Maybe the world's too quiet. Maybe you feel like you're not alone. Like something's watching you. This is one of those stories. The most unexplainable thing I've ever seen in Minecraft. And the scary part is, it was real. A few months after I uploaded my herobrine video, something happened that was far worse than anything I'd ever seen in the game. It didn't happen in a horror map or a cursed seed. It happened on a completely normal modded server that I play on with a friend. That night, he logged off to eat some dinner and left me alone underground. I was just mining, grabbing some iron, collecting ores, doing the same routine I'd done 100 times. Nothing unusual, nothing creepy. And then, with no warning at all, I got kicked from the server. No lag, no stutter, just gone. When I logged back in, everything looked normal at first. I was standing exactly where I left off. but something felt wrong. The cave felt darker, quieter, like the air had shifted. I decided to head back to the surface, just to get out of the cave for a minute, and that's when I saw it. Just a few blocks ahead of me, standing perfectly still, was me. For a second, it didn't move. It just stood there, completely motionless, like a frozen player model. And that's when my brain started scrambling for explanations. Lag, desync, maybe the server didn't register my logout. Something normal. Something safe. But something about it felt wrong. It wasn't copying my movements. It wasn't rubber banding. It wasn't glitching. It was just there, like its own player. I switched to third person to get a screenshot. I took a few, but because I used Windows snipping tool, they overrode each other. Only the last one saved, and of course, it's the one that proves nothing. I hadn't moved, and I was still trying to understand what I was looking at when it moved. It walked forward. It didn't turn towards me, and it didn't react to me. It just walked forward, and then it paused, almost like it was thinking. And then it walked straight in a completely different direction. And it ignored the safe staircase that I had built, the path I always used. Instead, it walked right past it and kept going towards the drop. When it hit the ground, it didn't stop. There was no hesitation, no confusion, no pathfinding. It just kept walking. Not towards me, not towards safety, straight towards the lava pool at the bottom of the cave. At this point, I panicked. I didn't know if it was about to burn, or vanish, or trigger something. So I ran down and hit it, trying to stop it. But it didn't stop. So I hit it again, and again. And this time, it died. And when it died, it dropped everything I had on me. A perfect copy of my inventory. Every tool, every ore, every stack, scattered across the cave floor. And that's when my stomach dropped. Because this wasn't a replay. And it definitely wasn't me. I rushed back up to my house, just trying to breathe for a second. I dumped everything into a chest and walked over to my bed, and froze. Because standing there, a single block from my doorway, was the clone. Not burned, not dead, not respawned in the cave. Just there, in my base. It had respawned at my bed, just like I would, and walked from there to my door. I trapped it immediately, covering it in blocks. My hands were shaking, because if this thing was copying me, it shouldn't have been able to move on its own. And if it wasn't copying me, then what was it? I wanted to test something, so I went all the way back to the spot where I killed it, just to see if it would return. I hid behind a wall. I waited. And I even called my friend during his dinner just to have someone else hear what I was seeing. And then, the clone disappeared. A chat message popped up with one line. Spelunker16 has left the game. Except, no other player had joined. No one else had been in the tab list. No name, no skin, nothing. And that was it. That was the entire encounter. It never came back. It never spawned in another world. I never saw anything like it again. But for those few minutes, something else was in my game. Something that moved with intention. Something that acted like a player, without a player behind it. Nothing like this lines up with anything normal in Minecraft. Something wore my skin, used my name, copied my inventory, and respawned at my bed, like a real player. A hacker wouldn't do that. A hacker wouldn't spawn at my bed, or copy my exact inventory, or walk directly into lava. A hacker wouldn't leave the server without griefing or destroying. Perhaps it was a replay glitch, except Minecraft 1.7 didn't even have anything like that. Maybe a movement echo. Those don't spawn at beds or choose paths you never took. A lag ghost? The server ran flawlessly, and lag ghosts only mirror what you already did. They don't walk independently. I even reached out to the mod community for the mods we were using, and they thought I was making it up. They had never heard of or seen anything like this. But this thing didn't mirror me. It didn't glitch. It didn't behave like a bug. It just acted like a separate player, who just happened to look exactly like me. The Minecraft worlds are massive. Millions of chunks players never load, and that the game never forgets. If a world can store data about everything you've ever done, maybe sometimes it stores a little too much. Maybe sometimes it doesn't just recreate your actions. Maybe it recreates you. A shadow made out of leftover data. A memory with legs. I don't know what I saw that night. I can't explain it. All I know is that for a few minutes, I wasn't alone in that world. So if you ever feel like something is watching you in Minecraft, don't ignore it. Because sometimes the game remembers. Herobrine, a name that every Minecrafter knows. A legend born from a single post in 2010, spreading like a wildfire through forums, videos, and creepypastas. The ghostly figure with white, empty eyes, said to haunt single-player worlds and leave behind mysterious structures, lurking in the fog, watching from the distance. Most people know the classic story. Herobrine was Notch's dead brother, a remnant of something that was never supposed to even exist in the game's code. But what if I told you there was another version of the story? One that painted Herobrine in a much darker, more unsettling light. A version that, for some reason, has completely disappeared. In the late 2010s, a few friends and I decided to document Minecraft creepypastas and ARGs. We looked through ancient forums, forgotten creepypastas, and obscure posts buried in the depths of the internet. And that's when we found it. A version of the classic Herobrine story we didn't even know was different. To us, this was just another piece of the puzzle, an unsettling truth buried in the history of Minecraft, until we thought about it. This version didn't describe Herobrine as Notch's dead brother. Instead, it said something different. Something hidden inside a mod. A virus. At first, it seemed like a small twist on the legend, but the implications were far worse. If Herobrine was a virus, then he wasn't bound by the limits of a ghost story. He wasn't just haunting old worlds or creeping at the edge of the fog. He was spreading, attaching himself to code, infecting the game itself, and that idea, that thought, started to make people uneasy. Here's the question. Why did this version even exist at all? Was it just another creepypasta, another evolution of the Herobrine myth, or was it something more? If Herobrine was framed as a virus, that changes everything. It's no longer a ghost story. It's a warning. A warning that somewhere, hidden inside the sprawling web of Minecraft's modding community, there's something lurking. A line of code that shouldn't be there. A remnant of an abandoned project. A corrupted file that, once installed, would never truly go away. Did someone create this version to hint at something real? Or was it an attempt to explain strange glitches and anomalies a player had experienced? Or was it a cover-up, a piece of fiction meant to dismiss something that had already been found? If this story had spread, how would the community have reacted? Fear? Caution? Mass paranoia about downloading mods? Would players have started searching their game files for traces of Herobrine, convinced that he was lurking somewhere in their code? Would Mojang have responded the same way they did with the classic myth, denying it in every patch note? Or would they have ignored it, letting the story die quietly? I think it's likely that the modding community and Minecraft community as a whole could have suffered to some extent with fears coming from playing the game. Maybe to the point that Mojang would have had taken action to disprove or protect from this claimed virus. The implications that it could have would have been immeasurable, utterly altering the course of internet history in a whole. In my personal Minecraft community, where the story did spread, it caused confusion and concerns. More importantly, if this story was erased, was it because it was just another forgotten legend, or was someone trying to make sure it never took root? Despite the eerie nature of this version of the story, it never took off, especially compared to the original Herobrine myth. Maybe it's because it didn't fit the supernatural mystery people loved, or maybe it was because it was too tech-based for a game like Minecraft. Or maybe it was something else. Many other stories and myths like it are also starting to disappear. I went back to try and find that post recently. It's part of what started this video. But when I went to look for it, it was completely gone. Wiped from the internet. No archive, no screenshots, and no backups. It's like it's never existed at all. And that's not the only story that's disappeared. Other strange Minecraft myths, ones that went beyond the ghost stories, have also started to fade into obscurity, buried under updates and time. But what if some legends don't just disappear? What if they survive, waiting to be rediscovered? Maybe Herobrine wasn't just a campfire story. Maybe he really was something lurking in the game's code, waiting for the right moment. And if that's true, then maybe, just maybe, he's still out there. Hidden inside a mod, a file, a server, or something. Just waiting, watching, and spreading. That was supposed to be the end of this video, and in some ways, it fits. But honestly, I don't think it does this story, or the real story of Herobrine, justice. Now, I might ruin your childhood a bit here, but Herobrine isn't real. A deep analysis of the original image can show that it was photoshopped. But I think deep down, we always kind of knew that. So why do we still tell these stories? Why do we still look for things like Herobrine, even though we know they're not real? I think it's because at some point, we did believe, and part of us wants to feel that again. That nostalgia for a time in Minecraft that's now long gone. A version that we can't return to. Moods that we can't recreate. Minecraft has always been a little empty. Sure, we build villages, and tame pets, and hop online with friends, but in single player, we're alone. So the idea that something might be out there, watching, helping, or even haunting gives the world some strange kind of comfort. My personal favorite version of Herobrine isn't even a scary one. It's that he wasn't evil at all. That some kind of force, whether it be Notch's brother or something else entirely, took the form of Steve because it knew how lonely the world could be, and it just wanted to be there, like another player, not to hurt us, but to keep us company. But that version, and all the others, have started to fade, just like old Minecraft itself. Still, Herobrine, no matter which story you believe, lives on, as a part of you, and as a part of me. We need to cherish the past, but live in the present.